Hello guys. We're going to discuss about combination or complex dysfunction today. So suppose I earn some salary, maybe 20,000 bucks in a month, and I go to some insurance company and buy an insurance policy for myself. So the third person, maybe some analyst, will say, "Oh, this guy is buying insurance policy. He must be risk averse." Of course, I'm protecting myself from some contingency. I'm really afraid. I know that I should be prepared for some contingency. I'm risk averse. That's one. Now, another person, he goes off and maybe put some dollar 50,000 in some horse race, or maybe in some derivative trading, or in some lottery, anything. So, the, again, that analyst, the third person, that analyst would say that this guy is risk taking. Now, the next day, he comes to know that the guy who put the money in the horse racing was the same guy who bought the insurance policy 2 days back. Now, this analyst will be confused that this guy was risk averse 2 days back, and now he suddenly became risk seeking. So, this is basically the complex risk function, because the same person is manifesting two types of behaviors: risk seeking as well as risk averse. This is also called double inflection utility function, and it's being introduced by Friedman Savage. Double inflection utility function. I'll go to the curve first of all. This curve is basically it has different segments. It has different segments. The first one below B is concave. Now, when it's concave, that means it's the risk. It shows the risk averse behavior. Shows the risk averse behavior. In between B and C, it is convex. So it's risk seeking. Convex means risk taking. When we go above C, it again becomes risk averse. That's concave. So three different segments. I can say that, and many economists say that behavior sometimes changes, also changes, but it would be the also that also changes. The behavior also changes based on wealth. For example, in this graph, I say in this graph that's the one assumption. Again, our last that person who was playing the horse racing as well as buying insurance, his wealth didn't change because he did it in 2 days gap. So that probably some other reason will explain that behavior. But this I'm just giving an example that sometimes this also happens, that the behavior changes due to wealth. That's another example. So let's not relate to that person that who played the horse, because his wealth didn't change actually. So I'm just clarifying. So in this case, if a person doesn't have much money, if he's poor, if probably he's not even middle class, is poor. So below B, I would say he is risk averse. So his curve is concave. The reason may be that he doesn't want to lose money. So basically, his utility to save money, is much more than the utility he derives from the risk-taking activity. Maybe it may be very high winning risk-taking activity. It involves a lot of amount, very high amount, but still, the utility he derives from saving some money, is much more than the utility he derives, or maybe the gain he derives from taking risk, because he has less money, so he wants to save more. In here, between B to C, the person has money, but not very high money, very high amount of money. So probably his utility to basically take risk and gain very high is basically take that chance to gain very high is probably higher than to save money. So he takes risk because he has some money. He can afford to lose some money. So his utility is high. Basically, the utility of taking risk is high in between B and C. Now above C, the person is very rich. Oh, again, he has been getting so much money that his utility has reduced. Now his utility of earning more money is reduced. So he probably doesn't take that much risk, he becomes risk averse. It's just the explanation that why with the wealth the risk taking behavior changes. Now, that's one school of thought basically. The other school of thoughts by different economists, the other one would be that the behavior changes. The person sometimes becomes risk seeking, sometimes becomes risk averse, as happened with that person who basically played the horse race just 2 days after uh, buying insurance policy. One argument is that in our mind we are programmed um in different sections, in different segments in our mind, to be risk averse and to be risk taking. So basically, my mind when I has different segments. So sometimes I think of being risk averse. I think of that I should not take risk. The other times where my other section is probably more dominant, other section of the mind is probably more dominant, I would probably think that yes, I should be risk taking. I should take more risk. Right. So that's also one explanation that our mind has two compartments, you can say. So sometimes one compartment is more dominant, and that compartment is probably risk-taking compartment. So I take more risk. The other time, my thinking is totally different because the second compartment probably is more dominant, and that second compartment basically supports risk aversion. So I'll probably risk averse. So again, another explanation. One more explanation is that basically people enjoy this excitement of taking gambling. They enjoy the excitement of basically playing horse race or maybe uh, trading in derivatives. That excitement they enjoy, and the utility they derive from that excitement or the recreational utility they derive from that excitement is more than the amount they can lose in that gambling and the trading and that risk taking activity. So basically, uh, this explanation basically relates our risk taking activity with recreation. So basically, this, in other words, they say there's recreational utility derived from risk taking activity, and that has more utility. Basically, the value of that utility is more than the value we can lose. In other words, so these are some explanations. Uh, in all this is basically the complex risk function, which is risk seeking and risk averse behavior both combined into one. Yeah, between maybe the B point and C point, you can say we can say this is the risk neutral function as well. So sometimes he may be risk neutral as well. So it doesn't matter to him that he takes risk or not. So that also there. That's also there. So it might be the combination of three kind of behavior: risk seeking, risk aversion, and being risk neutral. So complex risk function. That's why or you can say combination risk function as well. So that's it. Thank you.